Hi everyone, it's Anne again, and today is June the 15th, so it's Thursday. I hope everybody is doing great. This is the first little vlog clip for the second half of June to show you guys what I'm up to. I'm even hoarser than usual today. We are now under a big high pressure system, and as a result the wildfires off to the west of us have socked us in. It's sunny out. It's sunny, very hot, dry as a bone. No more of those nice afternoon rain showers. And it's so smoky outside. It's a little crazy. We have all the windows shut. We'll probably not open them anytime in the near future, even though it's still down in the 50s at night. It's really, really thick out there. I walked our dog Lizzie this morning, and we did one of our loops, and we got home and both of us were kind of coughing and stuff. So the dogs are inside. They're downstairs in their bat cave doing dog things, and so I thought I would take a little bit of time to record. Otherwise, everything here is good. I hope everybody is enjoying almost summer. By the time you guys see this, it will officially be summer. The solstice will have come and gone. I'm still drinking hot tea, but I am kicking off a brand new flavor from the New Mexico Tea Company. My hair is doing something really strange there. The New Mexico Tea Company, they have a lot of really great hand-blended tea blends, which I like. This is a new one that I decided to try, and one of the things I like about their website, which I will link down below if you're a tea drinker, is that they will do small amounts. So like you can order a 1 ounce little bag, sealed Ziploc bag, and you can order 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 4 ounce, 8 ounce, and I think you can do like an auto ship. So if there's some flavor that you really like, Emma, yeah. If there's some flavor that you really like, you can get it shipped monthly if it's something like that you drink every morning. So I usually like to get their 1 ounce ones to just try. So this one is black tea and coconut. It's really quite good. I could see myself drinking it all year long, but it's really nice for the summer. It probably would be good iced too. Just saying. And it probably would be excellent with some like coconut milk in it, if you can have that. So anyway, that is what's going on in my little end of the world. Let's talk about stitching. Been working on the full moon from the drawn thread. Doing this one here. There's 2 small needle fobs as well, which I will probably do at some point, but for right now, that guy is what I've been working on. And I have it finished as well as fully finished. So here it is. Again, I'm doing this on a hand-dyed linen that I dyed in my shop. I think I lied to you guys last time. My colorway is Avalon. It's a just kind of soft muted gray. I stitched this 2/2 using mostly color and cotton hand-dyed threads. The original pattern called for, I think it was gassed. No, I lied. Dinky dyes or NPI silks, or yeah, there is some gassed. You can use a combination of either gassed and DMC if you want to use cotton, or dinky dyes and NPI silks if you want to use silks. I didn't use either of those really. Again, mostly color and cotton. I did the moon is a Kryneck silk, which I had gotten from a Stitchy Box shipment. I think it was the winter, like the December one from last year. And then the little brown stem on the pumpkin is Gentle Arts Dark Chocolate. Everything else is color and cotton. So coal is the kind of blackish gray color. Redwood is the color I used for the pumpkin. Wood Nymph is what I used for the green. There's some yellow in there that are the specialty stitches right here, which was Winter Wheat. And I think that's it. The pattern called for 2 different yellows, but it called for 1 yellow for the bird beak and feet and 1 yellow for the little specialty stitches. I mean, it wasn't even 1 length of thread to do those, so I just used the same color because that seemed crazy. If you haven't done specialty stitches before, this is a really great way to just toss in a few extras because there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 Leviathan stitches. They're really easy to do. There's a great diagram that shows you how to do them, so that's straightforward. And you can see I also finished off the spider. I had a little black bead that I decided to use. We have black widows here in New Mexico. They love to live in the sensors on the garage door opener, you know, the motion sensors. That light gives off just a little bit of heat, and so we almost always have black widows living in those on each side of our garage. They have that kind of glossy black body. They're a little bit scary. I had a friend who got bitten in the back of her neck by one, had got really awful cellulitis. But anyway, so that is that. It is finished. I finished it off with this little subtle gray and white print that was also, I think, from the same stitchy box as I got the Krynex silk from. So just made it into a little ornament, and that will go out on the table for Halloween, and I love it. I love it. I think it is so cute. I love all of the drawn thread projects that I've worked on, so this one is no different. So that one was a Mania start and is now a finish and fully finished for the year. So got a little bit of credit for Stitch from Stash for that. It's not a huge project. Obviously I finished it up in like 4 days, but every little bit. Okay, next, what I'm going to work on for the next 6 days for the Ivory Needle Challenge is my, a work in progress, my Heaven and Earth Star Weaver Story Keep, artwork by Tom Cross, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I am closing in on a page finish since you last saw this. This right here is the bottom of page 1. And there's 2 more full pages, and then I think just 1 row of a 4th page, and then that's all there is to this project. It's a very small one. So I have, you can see this done. I think I have 2 more colors to finish this little bit of confetti in here, and then the rest is this same, I think it's 798 is the blue that is the rest of it. So I'm going to put in a really solid 6 days worth of work on this. I would love to try to get a page finished by the end of June. My goal was to have that by the end of July. If I'm a month ahead, that would be so fantastic. So gonna try, gonna be really focused and work on this. I apologize because I don't have my tablet up. There was a really great suggestion in my last little vlog clip that talked about, you know, wanting to work on the Heaven and Earth designs more, and just they were so labor intensive, but I really wanted to get some traction on them. And a listener had a great idea, so thank you. I will see if I can find your name and stick it down below. But at any rate, thank you for the suggestion to do like an hour's worth of work. If you have multi-hours, you can work on stuff. Do an hour worth of work on your Heaven and Earth project every day, and then supplement other things in. That seems like a really smart idea. I know when I first kind of started working on the Hades, I tried to get like 100, you know, 100 stitches done. So like one of the square blocks done a day, but that's almost not even enough, I don't think, to really make good headway. So we'll see. Sometimes 100 stitches is easy to get, like when it's all one color, right? You just kind of crank along and you finish it up. But yeah. So let's just see where I get to by the end of the next 6 days on this. The next thing that I will have to work on for the remainder of June is my Village of Hawk Run Hollow. That's the next work in progress piece to come out to play. finally, I want some help, you guys. Next month, which is July, yeah, is my birthday month. And I'm going to do one more new start as part of the Ivory Needle Challenge to put in my rotation to work on from then until the end of the year. And I'll be starting this probably closer to the end of the month because that's when my birthday is. I have 2 Chatelaines kitted up and I can't decide which to start, so I would need some help. We have 2 choices. The first one is Winter Watergarden. This is slightly less bead heavy than my other project. It has some really pretty black work in there. It has like all of these little filigree things that you see right here that look like the gates. Those are done in black work. I have this kitted up. I'm going to be using this linen. It's from Watergarden. It's their Silver Moon colorway, their Belfast linen, 32 count. So I have this ready to go. This is a really pale gray. And I have all of the necessary items, which I got kitted up from European Cross Stitch. So I have the beads. And then I have all of the floss, which comes this way from there. So there's some petite treasure braid in those, oops, sorry, kind of silvery colors, silvers and kind of a pale gold. And then a whole bunch of silks, which are in kind of wintry colors. There's some Glorianas. They're kind of dark slate grays and chocolate browns. And then there's some really pale colors. You can see those. Kind of pale winter blues, ice greens, that kind of colorway. So that is Winter Watergarden. That is option number 1. Option number 2 is the Desert Mandala. This one is more bead heavy. It's, I shouldn't say more bead heavy. It's got more treasures in it. And it's got the 4 different scenes. And I wanted to do this. There's a whole bunch of the landscape ones that I want to do. I decided to start on this one first since we are in the high desert here in New Mexico. All kinds of stuff there. The Roadrunner, that's the New Mexico state bird up here. Jackrabbit, scorpion, rattlesnakes. We had a baby rattlesnake in our garage a couple years ago, eating our dog food. It's interesting. Sorry for the crinkling. I know that drives some people crazy, but kind of a necessary evil. Okay, this one I'm doing on a sort of different colored fabric than some of the ones you've seen. Most of the ones I've seen are on kind of a sandy desert color. And this is Calypso. It is a Lugana from Picture This Plus. It's a bright turquoise blue, very Southwest background, but I think all the colors will really pop on it. This one, excuse me, I kitted up myself. Sorry, I was looking for the beads. So there's a lot of little treasures, like these square ones. There's some bicorns. There's some little flower ones. Also has some petite treasure braid. Golds mostly. And then it's kind of an eclectic mix of colors. So there's some colors that you would think of like this that are kind of those sandy browns. But then there's some, there's another one that's really similar to that. Then there's also really bright blues, like that one. And a whole bunch of really pretty greens. Kind of terracotta colors. Let's see what I missed in here. Oh, more of those kind of terracottas, the Gloriana silks and pale greens. So those are the 2 options. The Winter Watergarden, which is the first one I showed you, and the Desert Mandala. you know, realistically, I will probably start both of those at some point in the next year. I have the stuff for them. There's no reason why not. But I want to pick one to start for my birthday project. So you guys get to pick. I'm going to post this here, and I'm also going to post to Instagram at the end of the month about the same time I upload this. Just tell me which you would pick. You don't even have to tell me why. Just pick one. Help me decide. I will count up the votes. I will announce that one of my July vlogs. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back with some more updates as the rest of the month progresses. And so hope you enjoy the summer solstice where we're getting ready to kick off summer. Until I talk to you guys again, be kind to yourself. Be good to others. Take care. Hi everyone, it's Anne. Today is Monday, June 19th. And I'm checking in to do just a quick update on what I've been working on over the weekend. So I hope everybody's doing great. Super hot here. It was hot this weekend. I think we're going to get the hot weather from Arizona headed our way shortly. So while we won't probably get like the 110s, 120s, it's supposed to be in the upper 90s here, which is very, very warm for us here in northern New Mexico. So we'll see. We're happy to have air conditioning. We had to have our unit replaced, not last summer, but the summer before it died, which was also the same year our furnace died. Not so great. But anyway, I am happy that we have it, that it works. We are lucky because the way our house is built, it's 2 levels, but the bottom level is kind of half built into the side of a hill. And so while that kind of means I have to run a fire down there, we have a fireplace. In the winter, it does mean that if it's stinking hot in the summer, I can always sit down there. Even when our air conditioner wasn't working, it was temperate down there. I mean, it wasn't cold, but it was cool-ish. So anyway, enough yattering on about the world and the weather. So this past week, I have been really focused on working on my Story Keep Star Weaver, artwork by Tom Cross, and it's a Heaven and Earth design piece. I am almost to a page finish. Now today's the 19th. And I'm scheduled to work on this through the 24th. So this right here is the bottom of page 1. And so I just have this little section to do right here. It's mostly this plain blue, the 798. And there's just a couple of stitches over here in the confetti part that are another color. But that's where I am. Hoping to get a page finish in the next day or so, depending on how much time I have to stitch. And then I'll just keep going to page 2 once I see how far, how long that takes me, and knowing that I've got up to the 24th to work on it. I think that's right. Check my little magic book. I have my Ivory Needle Challenge days broken out. So yes, through the 24th. So I'm excited that I'm making such good progress on that one. I want to definitely kind of keep focused on that. That's going to be my go-to project for the next couple of months until I see if I can get it finished. Really would like to have this done for the holidays for my dad. I am, however, a little bit burned out on blue. Lots of blue. So this weekend, after I had watched one of my favorite podcasters, it's Lisa over at Lisa's, I hope I get this right, Lisa's Stitching and Stuff. I will put a link down below to her podcast. She is in Australia, I believe that's right. I hope I'm saying that right, Lisa, as opposed to New Zealand. I think it's Australia. Does some amazing, gorgeous pieces, and she and I got sort of chit-chatting about Amy Stewart and her Heaven and Earth designs, and so I got motivated to haul out my stitching shelf, which, you all may remember I started this past year. It's been on hold, but I love it. So this weekend, what I did is, because I have decided that I really like working cross country much, much better than I like parking, I went through and trying not to knock stuff off my table. This is such a big piece of fabric. So I have finished the first 3 columns here, and I had finished those completely. And I had a whole bunch of hanging threads in this section, and so I just went through this weekend and I took the time to actually work those in. So what you see here are all of the threads that had been parked. They are now finished. These are just ends that I'll clip off, because this gets me right here is the end of the page. I purchased this in a large format as opposed to the regular format, so the pages are a little bit smaller than the regular. They're still massive, you know. I think they're 60 by 80 or like 65 by 80, something like that, as opposed to 74 by 95, I think is what the regulars are. Anyway, so there's more pages to finish. It's the same number of stitches, they're just laid out differently. And now that I work off PDF on my tablet exclusively, it really doesn't do me any good to have the larger size. These aren't the super sized ones, and it's not the max color. There's no difference in the finished piece. It's gonna look exactly the same. So anyway, this is this little corner right here. Have not gotten to the key, but I have started this really dark part right here. That's right there. So just put in a few stitches on that. Not sure when I will get back to it, when the mood strikes me, or I have, you know, maybe an extra hour of stitching time one of the days, or on the weekend or something. I might pick that up and just put some stitches in it just to get some stitches in it. That's kind of where I am with that. The other thing that is not part of the Ivory Needle Challenge, but which I worked on this past week, not huge progress, but I just wanted to put a few stitches into my Pikes Peak Santa from Rocky Mountain Santas. This was a Mania start this year, and I have, get it right side up. So I finished the blues, I've got the reds done, and I'm working on the collar, the collar of his jacket. And I just did a little bit of it. I mean, not a ton. I'm kind of working on this on the sly. I want to put it in my husband's stocking for Christmas, so doing it when he's kind of not around. And I had half an hour when he was out, and I thought, oh, I'll just grab that and sit with my feet up and do that. We had a kind of busy weekend. We ran a bunch of errands. We did some things around the house. You know, he went for a bike ride one day, and then he took the dog for a longer like hike one of the days. I went for a run the 2 mornings. But anyway, so he was out, and I thought, well, I'll just pop in another few stitches, work on the next color. There's a fair amount of beads in these, and so you know, it's not as quick a project as one might think. You feel like, oh yeah, there's not that much, you know, and I am making decent progress on it, but it's not a zippy quick stitch. So anyway, that's what I've been working on, and I'm going to continue this week, like I said, through the 24th to work on the Heaven and Earth Star Weaver project and see how far I get on that, try to get some really good solid time, you know, an hour or maybe 2 if I can swing it in the evenings. I've got a work deadline project that I'm working on, so that winds up taking up some of my like post-dinner sit-down hours in the day. But otherwise, I think that's about it. I will pop in and talk about my next piece on the last 6 days of the month, my Village of Hawk Run Hollow, when I get there. So I will check back with you guys then. I will see you in another 4, 5, 6 days. Hope you're having a great week and a good kickoff to your Monday. Take care. Bye. Hi Flosstube. Today is Sunday, June 26th. It is just about 8:30 here. We are waiting for rain here in northern New Mexico this morning, keeping our fingers crossed that it's going to actually rain. My husband and I got up early this morning. He wanted to go fishing, so he's off doing that. And I took the dog out for a little run. We did kind of our long loop, which I like to do because we get to run by one of the folks who has horses in our neighborhood. We go out that way and do that. So we kind of did our 3.5 mile thing and got home. I just got out of the shower and thought I'll do kind of an end of the month Flosstube before I get on with the rest of my day, which I'm hoping will actually involve a lot of staying inside and stitching. We ran a ton of errands yesterday. We went down to Santa Fe. I hate shopping. I hate it. I think it's part of my hermity nature. Yeah. Quick thank you to everybody who commented and reached out to me, otherwise got in contact with me about my 20 random things video. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I'm always happy to answer questions, comments, concerns, whatever. If you leave me a message down below or want to private message me on Instagram where I am Little Bird Stitcher, all one word, always happy to do that. So again, thank you for everyone who watched that. And if you are a returning viewer to this podcast, thank you. And if you're new, welcome. I hope that you enjoy it. So let's talk about what I've been working on. I have been working on a work in progress for the last 6 days. It is the Star Weaver Story Keep, artwork by Tom Cross and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's that wizard right there. And I got a page finished, so I have finished page 1. That was down to there, and so you can see I've moved my scroll frames up so I can work on page 2. That blue line right there is the bottom of page 1. This is as wide as it gets, so you can see the entire width. And so I started working on some of the confetti. Not that you can tell at all, but this is the beginning of the wizard's hat. And yes, it's also in blue, so more blue. So technically this is had its 6 days and it's going away from my rotation. Realistically, I'm going to try to work on it a little bit every day just to make continued progress on it. So I feel like I finally got some traction on it. Want to keep moving forward. Yeah, so that's my focus for a finished piece project. So for the final 6 days of June, I'm going to be working on my Village of Hawk Run Hollow piece. So I've pulled that out today, and here is the full top row. So block 1, block 2, which I made some personalization changes on, and block 3, which is City Hall, and that is where I am on that. So I've got the sign is completely done. I need to do the birds that are up here. There's a flag that hangs here, and then I need to finish the courthouse building, City Hall building. So yeah, happy with that. I guess I should let you guys know, for those that want specifics, this is being done on a 28 count Monaco, 1/1 with DMC. This is a 22 count. It's technically hardanger. I'm doing it 1/1 because I wanted this not to be a completely massive piece. It's still going to be big, obviously, but not out of control big. And it is Picture This Plus. The colorway is Legacy, and I am doing the DMC colorway, not the silk. colorway for this one, well, for this project. So that's where I am on that. So like I said, I'll be working on that through the end of June, and then I'll talk about July plans in just 1 minute. But here is kind of a little bonus project that I have been working on. This is Mill Hill's Pikes Peak Santa from their Rocky Mountain Santas collection. And I have gotten that much done on it this week. I've just done like maybe a half an hour here and there when I have the time to do it. So I think I'm in the home stretch on the cross stitch part of it, and then of course there'll be the beads. So I need to do the eagle. I haven't done that. Obviously I need to stitch in his face and finish the coat, this intersection of the coat, and then there's a tree branch or a couple of small branched bushes over here that I need to do the cross stitch on before I bead. So there's that. So I'm just picking this up as I feel like it, not really working on it with any particular goal or schedule or anything like that. I'm just doing it as I get to it. So there is that I have been working on. So that kind of feels good to just, you know, pick up and work on a little small project, get some stitches in on it. All good. So let me find my notes to talk about July. Okay, so July is going to be divided up into the same kind of 6-day rotation that I've done for June to keep up with the Ivory Needle Challenge. So days 1 through 6, I'm going to work on Shoot the Moon. That's the silhouette type piece that I was working on at the beginning of this month. So I'll work 6 days on that. Then the 7th through the 12th, I'm going to work on the Under the Sea Sal. And that'll be the July clue that'll come out probably the 2nd or late on the 1st, depending on where in the world you are. 13th through the 18th, I'm going to go back to Star Weaver, which you just saw. The 19th through the 24th, I'm going to work on Village of Hawk Run Hollow, which you also just saw. Then the 25th through the 31st is when I'm going to work on a new project, which is going to be the Chatelaine, whatever gets picked. You saw that in my last clip that's just before this one. You guys get to decide between the Desert Mandala and the Winter Watergarden. So my birthday is on the 27th, and so I'll start it a little bit before my birthday, but it'll cover that start for the 25th through the 27th and then on to the end of the month. So I'll work on that for the end of the month days and see how I go. I'm also going to try to fit in, there's a really fun stitch along being hosted by Cross Stitch Finish Line. It's their Dog Days of Summer Sal, and it runs, I have to double check the dates. I will try to insert those here somewhere. It's like the 15th through the 19th, 14th through the 19th, something like that. And it is using the word summer. You're going to pick a project that fits the theme for S, which I can't remember what that is right now. I will put a link down below to that event in the Cross Stitch Finish Line group. So if you're interested, you can jump on board with that. I like the ones where you can pick something and just work a day on it, because you at least get a little progress on something that maybe wouldn't otherwise get touched, and, you know, keep stuff feeling fresh and interesting. So I am going to fit that in at some point in the middle of the month. My husband is on work travel. After the 4th of July, like that next, whatever that, he's home that week. I think the 4th is a Tuesday, so he's home through the end of that week, and then he leaves Sunday, and he's gone the following 3 weeks in succession. So I will be here by myself, and that gives me a little bit of extra time because I don't normally really cook for myself. I eat like fruit for dinner. I know that's not maybe the healthiest. Well, I know fruit's healthy, right? Or I'll make a salad or something like that, but I don't do a full cook dinner kind of thing, which he needs the calories, and when he's home, I try to at least get dinner in him. If he's not here, I don't bother. I usually eat while I read, or read while I eat, and it's like a 15-minute event, and then I move on with my day, and there's really not a lot of dishes or anything. I'm sure y'all know what I mean if you're home by yourself occasionally. Okay, so that's my plans for July. I will get along on all of those, keep you guys up to date as things move along. And I did want to talk to you about two quick things. How am I doing? 10 minutes. Okay. So first off, I have to show you my new mug that I just got. Sorry, there's a little bit of a glare, but... And I have one other, which I'll show next time. So I started following, if you're a Heaven and Earth Designs fanatic, I started following Amy Stewart, the artist, on Instagram, and she has a lot of her products for sale at a website called Studio 6. I'll put a link down below if you're interested. So there's coffee mugs, there's t-shirts, there's notebooks, there's tote bags, there's all kinds of things. And you know, it's not all of her projects that you can find on Heaven and Earth, but for instance, a stitching shelf is on there. That was my gateway drug for full coverage. I love that piece so much. So I got 2 coffee mugs of her designs. Kind of a little ironic, right? So I bought a stitching shelf. I bought that coffee mug because I already have that chart and I love that chart. So while I was on the site flipping through, I found this one, which is called Eternia or Eterna. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's got this woman, and let's see if I can get it close enough for you to see. She's hugging her horse under the trees. So I thought, wonder if that's a thing, if they have that on Heaven and Earth. So I went over to the Heaven and Earth site, and sure enough, they do have this entire piece. But I really didn't want to tackle, it's pretty large. I think it's 18 by 23, something like that, full coverage. I decided I didn't want to tackle that, but I did request them to do a quick stitch for me. So I asked if they could zero in on the woman holding her, with her arms around the horse's neck under the trees. So I don't know how long it takes them normally to do that. I can't believe a ton of time, but you know, who knows how many they have ahead of me. So I wound up ordering the chart, which I'm going to stitch someday because I found this mug. Yeah, you see that whole rabbit hole thing. So this transfers nicely into my next little announcement, which is Terry of Stitching Petunia had contacted me after she watched my last video and said, you know, I'd be interested in doing like a full coverage, year of full coverage stitch along with you. Let's do it. So we are going to host a Facebook group. It will be set up in October. So you have some time to decide if you want to do it. It's not going to be anything commando. You don't have to commit to doing like an entire year of nothing but full coverage. But our plan is to have a few quarterly challenges that are themed, and then a few more individual challenges. So it'll be things like, we'll probably have a seasonal one. So if you want to work on one that's winter themed, we'll have that. We also are going to do a set that has something to do. They'll also, for the quarterly ones, there'll be things that are themed on earth, air, water, and fire. I always want to say the, you know, musical group. No. So it'll be things like for air, if you have one that has birds flying or balloons or planes or anything that has sky in it would work, or fairies flying through a picture, you know, that kind of thing. So I think those will be really fun and give folks, you know, 3 months to focus on a project. And then we also thought we might do individual ones where we do maybe a month where you work on a project, work on the blue stitches, or work on some other theme that has to do with a holiday or a time of the year, like harvest or Halloween or Easter, whatever. We're gonna have all those set up in the group. So The group is not active yet. I will probably get that together to open it up October 1st-ish, something like that. So if you are someone who likes to work on full coverage projects, I hope you'll consider joining us. Like I said, very low-key kind of group. This is not going to be, you know, you don't have to stitch just on full coverage. If it's your first time working on a full coverage piece, doesn't matter. We'd love to have you. I'm sure you all watch Terry, but I will put a link down below to her video, her Flosstube channel, so you guys can see what she's got planned. And so next month, maybe, or maybe August, we'll see what I have time for filming. I'm planning on doing a sort of project parade to show you guys the full coverage pieces that I'm currently working on, and then the ones that I plan to start. I know this is going to sound crazy. I'm actually considering doing an all full coverage mania next for 2018 for May. Not doing a start a day because that is a little crazy, but maybe 4 or 5 new projects for Stitch Mania, full coverage. We'll see. Anywho, I think that is all I have to share with you all today. I hope you have a great weekend wherever you are. Hope you get lots of stitchy time in. I will plan on doing some videos as I go along. I'm going to stick with this vlog format. So I will keep you guys up to date as I progress along on my village project. And I will touch base with you early in July. So until I talk to you all again, be kind to yourself, be good to others, have a great one.